Welcome my boils, my ghouls, and my zools. Let's talk about the KP9, see how it did at Texas Kalashnikov, and watch a kid. Alrighty, almighty, my boils, my ghouls, and my zools. Welcome back to Tactical Shooting. So I should be filming a T91 video totally, but been training for Kalashnikov here, and also had a Texas Kalashnikov yesterday. Ended up using the KP9 to save a little bit of money on the ammo, honestly, while I wait for an ammo shipment. Found a few things I needed to work on. Firstly, every single stage I did, I was hearing high, 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 which means my zero knocked up a little high. And you know, you could see in the Christmas match that I was posting some footage of, my zero is dead on. I was perfectly fine. So sometime here in between then and now, which I haven't really done much with the rifle, to be honest with you, my zero got knocked. So just had to, you know, correct that. No big deal. But also, I wasn't really happy with my movement because it was evident in my times that I was slowing down throughout the day. And that wasn't really because I was tired or anything. I think I was just losing focus or wasn't moving as well as I should have. I did actually get an okay score, 18th overall, 7th in the division, so I can't really complain too much about my score because that's a pretty decent score. It's, I mean, you know, upper 20, so, you know, take it. I'll take it. Woo! We've been having tornadoes lately, more fucking real. Seeing this crazy ass wind, this is why I have the balaclava and I have the Gorka on, because I don't like wind very much, so I want to guard against the wind. And this is exactly why loadout selection is so important, because man, some days I might want to be LARPing real heavy like I am right now, but some days I might want to be wearing some cute little shorts. But really, enough of my babbling. Let's just get to this Texas Kalashnikov because this wind is awful. Well, it was too windy at the range to do this little Texas Kalashnikov breakdown, so just come back and do it on the porch. So I'm working with a couple new things today. Trying out the Insta360 1X2. So, see how cool this camera is. Seems pretty neat. So first stage as always is the wood chop. Wood chop went just fine. Got to blow the jug this time, but I ran out of ammo for the exploding target, so oh well. But that's cool. So the first stage we got to do as a squad was the stage I'm going to call the Munson stage for myself. That was a stage that was essentially a Casarta drill. So if you're not familiar with what a Casarta drill is, basically you take a kettlebell, you throw it down range, and you run to where the kettlebell lands, and you take your shot from there. This was similar, except it was a sack of towels. Yeah, I'm calling it a Munson for myself because I really misunderestimated how brittle that sack was, and I underhanded it, and it just lobbed.
Very good.
Funny enough, it didn't really go any shorter than really anybody else that overhanded it through. You know, one person had a good idea and just, you know, did the, you know, backhand lob, which is the way to go, definitely. But it wasn't really a problem because, you know, it wasn't exactly a long distance or anything like that.
Man, this thing is fucked.
The whole stage went pretty well, so I can't really complain. I got a great time on that. So, second stage we get to do is the bayonet stage, and basically you grab your rifle that's a fake rifle with a fake bayonet on it, or you could use a real one if you're Aiden. Jesus fucking Christ. Be screaming your way through that stage. So anyhow, the stage starts where you pick up your rifle with the bayonet, you give your bayonet to the bayonet recipient falls dead, and it activates a swinging water bottle, and then you have a series of targets that you have to clear, and obviously that swinging water bottle is a concern in the middle of that, so you could choose to either get it out of the way, or you could choose to just let it sit and swing, and then, you know, you can do your thing. So the last Texas Kalashnikov I used the KP9 on, it also had a swinging water bottle, and it went just fine because, I mean, my zero was dead on. So started noticing a little bit of an issue right here. I had to aim down a little bit and, you know, ended up getting it, but it didn't go as smooth as I really thought it was going to go. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened there. We didn't get... Fuck. Yeah, I don't really know what happened to the film on that one. I guess we just forgot. Honestly, Clay's been helping me out film a lot. He's been really pushing me to get this channel going a lot and really encouraging me, so definitely got to thank him for that. But yeah, I don't know what would happen on this stage. We just bungled it, I guess. Anyhow, yeah, we're outside. So anyway, so third stage we get to, there's a series of barriers, and on each side of the barriers there's a number, and there's a corresponding target to each side of the barrier. So the targets are croquet balls set up on pool noodles, and it's pretty similar to a Kalashnikov stage that seems to recur from video I've seen of prior Kalashnikovs to the one I did. And it could be pretty tough if your zero is not dead on, and really I was really sure that my zero had got knocked high on this one.
Wood. Careful.
Yeah, that's right. He's really high. Low. Low. There you go.
Damn, that works. What the fuck is my zero? That works.
That works too. That's low, but you got it.
Just shoot them out.
Low. There you go. Right? Yep. Very low. Oh, there we go. Jesus Christ.
And I noticed I had to shoot almost at the bottom of that pool noodle. And it was actually kind of similar to this, what was going on at Kalashnikon. I had to shoot at basically the center of the pool noodle because of where my zero was. And yeah, it was tough. It was tough. It's definitely tough. So being that I am a squad 2 guy at Texas Kalashnikov, that means we wrap it up with the shoot house. So today the shoot house was set up where you had a series of no-shoot cards. You flip the cards and choose your no-shoot card. You grab a hammer and you got to knock through the door. Then you run into the shoot house. You start engaging your targets. You had to engage long range twice this time. So it wasn't a high round count shoot house this time whatsoever. It was a real quick one, but that zero problem couldn't have been more apparent. Shooting long range and still having to shoot low.
That's thank force of fire. Yes, I do. Ready?
So the previous round, half. Range is safe, reset.
Felt choppy.
That's why I came back out to the range today to double check that zero and confirm that, yeah, it was real high up. And so, yeah, corrected that, had a little training session. So let's talk about the KP9 for a second. This thing is pretty much stock. Doesn't even have an ALG in it. The only thing on here is the handguard. It's a Zenitco B21M. And of course the SP Tactical Triangle stock. And of course the SP Tactical brace. Brace. It is a good brace, but it really does have some play. So that's an unfortunate thing. And I was having a little bit of trouble with the shouldering because of that, because I'm so used to the tail hook and a regular stock that I just kept jamming that thing in there. And when you really jam it in, you get some flex. We do need to throw an ALG in this thing because follow-up shots, man, the trigger in this thing is real nice, but it's got a real long break on it. Watch. Look at that wall. It's quite a wall. It's an AK trigger. And it's got a crisp break once it breaks. Kind of a long reset. So yeah, something needs to be done about this trigger, certainly. Probably going to throw a muzzle brake on here too as soon as we can find something that interfaces with the detent. I think we could probably tame it down just a little bit more. Reel seems to be holding fine. It's a 9mm. Really the only other thing we need to do to this thing is change out the safety. Safety and a trigger, you're good to go with a KP9, but definitely get something like a CNC Warrior brace or a you know, Midwest or J-Mac armbar setup with a tail hook, something like that, because, you know, honestly, this rubber flex, that's just not fucking happening. That's not sporty. Alright, so I saved the best for last. So this is some magic that got caught on camera. On my way out, there was a dude on our squad that had brought his kid with him, and his kid was helping tape all day, and he had explained to me that his kid had been interested in doing a match, you know, a rimfire match, and so he said if he comes along, learns about the taping and sees how it goes and everything and gets comfortable with it, yeah, sure, let's give it a shot. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to say any names because I'm not going to say a goddamn little kid's name on the internet, but anyway, walking out and I see him over at the shoot house door playing with the hammer, and I'm like, is he going to run it? And he's like, oh yeah, without a magazine, but yeah, he's going to run through. And I'm like, hey man, I mean, you know, I have a 9mm right here, he could give it a try. And so his dad went, what do you say, kiddo? And kid's like, yeah. We put the KP9 in his hands, showed him how the trigger works, showed him how the safety works, let him charge it, and then we let him put it back on safe all himself. And he ran through the shoot house just to get comfortable, you know, got a little bit of help, and then we ran it through a second time, didn't give him any help. And yeah, man, went real well. It went real well. So yeah, I'm not gonna say the kid's name, but yeah, man, he's officially a Kalasher. So I present to you the birth of a Kalasher.
Beep.